yeah. This is the Gaven Factor, yeah. Please enjoy the show.
Yeah, boy! Welcome to the Gaven Factor. I'm your host, Gaven. On today's show, we're going to talk about the Meat Inspection Act from the Progressive Era and the current day issue of abortion. We'll also be having a special guest appearance on today's show, Bill O'Reilly. And in that way, let's head down to Tommy and Justin for a special report.
This is Hosch with my colleague Justin Fluffy Franson. Today we would like to talk about a reform not many people know about, the Meat Inspection Act of 1906.
See, what you don't know is this act prohibited the sale of adulterated and misbranded livestock. And it made sure meat was properly slaughtered and processed under the needed sanitary conditions.
Many do not know that what actually caused this act to be passed. The answer is The Jungle by Upton Sinclair. It talks specifically about the meatpacking industry in Chicago. It was actually to try to show the public the terrible working conditions there. But in fact, what he said in his book happened to come to fruition in real life.
When this was found out, the one, the only, Theodore Roosevelt Jr. signed the act into question and to try and settle the public. He sent people who he trusted to the meatpacking facilities all around the United States to quote this issue once and for all.
Once it was passed, every animal carcass was required to be checked before the meat was taken from the body, and for all livestock to be inspected.
See, this act is still being used today, and it makes sure that little to no outbreaks of diseases from animals come to us because of sickness they may have. Although the owners of the meat industries opposed this act, it was much needed and will be needed for a long time. Now time for a quick commercial break.
Yeah, quanto Bobby.
Давай ему полотенечко сюда.
Какие глазки, посмотри, вон за хвостом. Он играется, он дальше играется.
Ихтиандр. А, Ихтиандр.
I'm against abortion for a few reasons. Abortion is a selfish thing to do. If you got pregnant and you didn't want to have a baby, you're going to want to get rid of it. But why would you get rid of your child by abortion? Why would you kill your own child that has been inside of you? Why didn't you give up your child for adoption instead? Was it worth killing your child for your freedom of not being a mother? Honestly, when you're in this situation, just think to yourself, would you be happy? Would you regret the decision later in life? If you make this decision, remember that once you do it, you can't go back, and your child will no longer exist. Therefore, abortion should be outlawed for being a horrific and selfish act.
Preach. Oh, thanks for coming on the show tonight.
Yeah, sure.
So basically, my first question, what has your work taught you about the importance of a free press?
Well, Gaven, this is what I have to say about that. On my show, The Bill O'Reilly Factor, I can interview almost anyone I please. Free press is important because it allows me to discuss any issue that we come up with.
So you can even talk about controversial issues?
That's right. Anything that is a common issue today is usually brought up.
Very interesting. So in that way, as shown as a commercial earlier, Kaitlin said that abortion was completely wrong and it should be outlawed. What do you think about that?
Well, let me be clear. I completely agree with Kaitlin. Abortion is a horrific act, and is basically the killing of a child. And in that way, I believe that it should be outlawed, and doctors should not be able to perform them legally.
Fair enough. Another question is one that comes from a viewer. He was wondering if you were actually a potato.
Now let me tell you something here, Gaven. I am a serious
You mean potato.
You want me to leave right now? Your show is straight garbage and a waste of my time.
Alright, my bad. One more question though is this. What do you think about the Meat Inspection Act from the Progressive era?
The Meat Inspection Act was a great thing for Americans everywhere. We are now safe at home and at restaurants with the food we eat. 1906 was a great year for Americans everywhere.
Okay, Bill, and in that way, thanks for coming on the show today.
My pleasure.
And in that way, we're going to sign off for now. Have a good night, everyone.